Well, this might be a good time to have a look at this carefree, smiling, pleasant fellow, Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea. And thank you for Google search images for these photos of him. Although some of these are kind of playful. Here he is kind of flipping us the you-know-what. Here he is in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't think this really happened. That must have been photoshopped or something. And here he is in front of one of our submarines. Maybe it's one of his submarines. It's probably not one of our submarines. And here he is in front of a bunch of missiles, right? So, very strange character. I think we could learn a lot from looking at his natal chart, because I think the problem is this guy has not gotten around very well. Here he is, 8th January 1983. It was not known what time of day he was born. This is Astro.com's conception of his horoscope. You notice how all those planets are in 1/3 of the chart. Here I have a better image for you from Astro Theme. Astro Theme shows them a little bit better, actually, set for 12 noon. But you know, there's very interesting things here. One of the things that stands out is Mars, the planet of work and male energy and war, battle, competition, stuff like that. Mars, an achievement. Mars is in a close, maybe a 3-degree conjunction with Pluto. This is one of the two symbols for Pluto. Looks like a little fish skeleton or something. I personally prefer the one that's PL, Pluto. That's easier to use. But anyway, this conjunction between Mars and Pluto has its kind of sinister side, because Pluto heavily intensifies and kind of, deepens and takes any planet that is adjacent to like this or in a close aspect to kind of the dark side. And we can take a look at that, for example. Let's see, this might be the right... No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, we're going to find, okay, Mars conjunct. I'm sorry, very sorry. Here's what I was looking for. This is from Dark Star Astrology, and I pay honor to them with this visit, because Mars conjunct Pluto is definitely the way that they say it. They say it doesn't mean that all these people are doomed. Rather, they have a melodramatic aura about them. Yes, you could say that. Some will channel the pain and passion of the creations, by saying that maybe music or art or something would be a great way of using this energy, because they have an emotional delivery in their songs. It can be the proverbial phoenix coming out of the flames. If they learn to channel this wild energy well, then they can survive anything. This combination also is a daredevil. It is fearless to the point it may indeed have some kind of death wish. They enjoy the adrenaline rush of dangerous sports and the thrill of chasing forbidden fruit. Wow, well, that's certainly unusual. So maybe it's not that unusual, but let's go back again to the horoscope and take a look and see what else is there. So that's Mars and Pluto, and another feature on this chart is Neptune in a conjunction with Jupiter on one side and Mercury on the other. And Neptune is a planet of ideals and the grandest, most extravagant wishes that a person could want. And with Jupiter, it certainly has a dangerous side, because Jupiter tends to exaggerations and things like that anyway. And with Mercury, it means that very creative energy, but it could be used for good, it could be used for bad, because all these three planets are together: Jupiter, Neptune, and Mercury. So I don't know what we can expect from this guy. In his personal life, Venus here is in a conjunction with Uranus, and that sometimes means sudden attractions, maybe powerful attractions, maybe something a little bit kinky and unusual in that. But I don't care what his sexuality is. What I'm concerned about is whether he's going to doom his country to a terrible war. So my theory is that at this point in history, Kim Jong-un is like launching rockets. And he just said that he wants to launch one every week. Well, I think that the United States has the power to zap those rockets out of the air, or very shortly after launch, with either what they can do with their computers or what they can do with their ray gun devices. I think that's all this guy needs, is to have his rockets zapped out of the air, and he will get the message that he can't have it his way. He can't be this big kid on steroids who doesn't have boundaries. So there's a Piscean aspect here because Jupiter with Neptune has a kind of Piscean tint to it, and also the moon is in Pisces in his chart. So there's some romance, there's some shyness, there is some fear, there's some well-deserved fear for his life, I think, with this particular aspect. Will this work out well? Well, for that we would have to look and see where the transits are in the coming days and weeks and months, and see whether at some point his candle may be extinguished. I think that he's bitten off more than he can chew. He's, 32, 33 years old? I read that he is the youngest world leader right now. The youngest world leader. And gosh help him, he evidently had his uncle executed back in 2011, and he evidently also had his brother and possible heir to the throne executed by two female spies just a few months ago. So he's a bad apple. He's a bad apple, and I think he's going to have to be suppressed or dethroned or taken down, because with that Mars-Pluto conjunction, Saturn is nearby also. Saturn in Scorpio with Pluto in Scorpio. So he doesn't have too much fear. He's not smart enough and not experienced enough to know fear. Thanks for looking in.